Lijepi pozdrav ekipa i dobrodošli u novi Ofenziva podcast. Imamo jedno uistinu posebno gostovanje. S nama je danas menadžer Mjällbyja, kluba koji radi čudo u švedskoj ligi, bivši klub iz treće lige, klub koji nema novaca, koji dolazi iz mjesta sa malo više od 10.000 ljudi, a sada je na vrhu švedske lige s 5 kola do kraja, imaju 11 bodova prednosti i upisali su samo jedan poraz, nemoguća priča, a s nama je menadžer Anders Torstensson, čovjek koji je imao različite poslove, koji je po treći puta trener ovoga kluba, vratio se ovdje, jedno vrijeme radio i kao ravnatelj škole, no vratio se poduprijeti ovaj projekt koji je 2016. pokrenut nakon što je spašeno od nekih ljudi jer je klub imao ozbiljnih financijskih problema. I sada imamo jednu klasičnu priču Davida protiv Golijata, gdje je klub za koji uistinu nitko nije očekivao na početku sezone se nalazi u prilici da osvoji naslov prvaka. Jedna fenomenalna priča, možemo je možda usporediti sa onom Leicestera u Premier ligi, ali pitaćemo naravno, pričat ćemo i o tome i o svemu i ispitat ćemo našeg gosta. Mr. Torstensson, thank you for taking the time for us. We are sending warm greetings to Sweden from Croatia.
Thanks a lot, and thank you for having me.
So we know the situation the club is in right now. You are on the verge of winning the title with 5 rounds to go and an 11-point lead. But let's go back to the very beginning of the season. What were your expectations for this season? Could anyone have imagined anything like this?
Actually, we would. We got some supporters betting on us winning the league, and they already cashed out. So they got a nice amount of money. But back to the question, we actually set our goals very high this season. We made a really good season the last year, and the year before that we played a cup final and unfortunately lost. But our goal settings within the group were actually we finished 5th last year, and we set the goals to be better than that. We set the goals to go out in the European competitions, which we actually managed to do by winning the last game. So we're qualifying for Europe. That's already done. So the goal setting was very high. So within the staff, within the group, we're not surprised, but we're very happy and satisfied so far.
So there was no moment during the season that you started believing that winning the title was possible. You were confident that you can compete with all the others from the very start.
Yeah, actually, we were. We're starting the cup in Sweden. It's a group stage before the season starts, and we won that group without conceding a goal. Unfortunately, we lost the quarterfinal, but that and a game in May is the only games we lost this year. So we started well. We had a high confidence and believe in our style of play. So we just went for it, and we have a lot of continuity in both in the staff and within the roster. So we didn't have to back and start things over. So we could just build from the last season and continue developing our style of play and the team.
Last season you were 4 points behind second place, behind Hammarby that was second, Ike that was third, so you were quite close. That means, like, when I when I read some of the articles, especially in the English media, who have written a lot about you, calling it a fairy tale story. Some were comparing it even to Leicester's famous season when they won the league. But it seems to me now that when we're talking, that those comparisons maybe are not completely valid.
No, I actually don't like the comparison with Leicester, because Leicester one of the 10th largest city in Great Britain. So a more fair comparison could be with Bodø Glimt up in the north of Norway, who also is a very small community. But we're smaller, and for the viewers, we come from a village with our arena is in a village with 800 inhabitants, and the village of Mjällby, which is 10 minutes away, is just 1,500 inhabitants, and the whole community have like 20,000 inhabitants in the whole community. So we are very sorry, very small, and come from a small but very proud area.
Now that you mentioned it, how is it even possible for a club from such a small place to attract a significant number of quality players? Because I assume your player pool can't be very large, yet you still have many homegrown players, and it's not all based only on scouting and affordable reinforcements from abroad.
No, it's not. We're not buying very expensive players. We're not paying the highest salaries in the league. I think, but what we can compete with is that we develop players. We have a very good atmosphere within the group. We have a very high intensity in training. And I think the word gets around that it's a very developing environment. So we have seen that players, even if the larger clubs in Sweden are interested, some players are still choosing us because we are also a springboard. We have become a selling club, sold players to Serie A, the first league in Denmark, the first league in Belgium, and to Malmö, the biggest club in Sweden right now. And so I think that's a reason too, that I see that they can develop in a very good atmosphere, and then take the next step to a higher level out in Europe.
So when we compare your club with the others, you have I assume a smaller budget than some of the clubs in Sweden. So you, if I'm getting it right, the springboard fact, your unity, your atmosphere, and the chance for younger players to develop themselves, you would consider that as the key to success, even though you have a smaller budget.
Yes, correct, very correct.
Okay, and how does the process of building a squad even look like in such an environment?
We have developed a lot. So we developed our scouting organization. We're still very, very small. We have one head scout, one sports director, and then the next level is us, the trainers. But we are zooming in on young upcoming players. We made very detailed profiles on what we want according to our style of playing. So it's a work 24/7, because we have a shadow team with like 5 players on every position that we know are fitting our style of play. And when we lose a play or we need another one, we scout them again really hard, make our choice and make an offer. And as everyone knows in football, we could facing problems because it could be that the player doesn't want to come to us, or there's be larger clubs involved, or he's too expensive and so on. But I think we have a very systematic way of scouting and recruiting players.
But except that scouting, you also have a couple of players that were here playing even in the third league. If I'm correct, Bergstrom, Gustafsson, Jasper Gustafsson, they were all in the club for a couple of years.
Yeah, and I think that's very important because we have a mix. We have some very experienced players, and they are really the spine of our squad. They're carrying the core values, and they have the experience. So we have a very good mix, and they have been there in the bad times, and they are still very humble nowadays in the good times. So I think they can remind their teammates of just keep doing the work every day.
Okay, let's go back just a bit to the development of younger players and nurturing local talents. How hard is it to balance the development of those younger players with the immediate imperative of winning games in the league?
Of course, it's tough, and I think we learned about that as well along the way. And we're a club. I know a lot of big clubs can play younger players because they have a very strong team, and one player in a position that's, let's say, 16 or 17 years doesn't really matter to them. But we have to keep the balance. So as you say, our main focus is to winning games, but we also have to develop the players. So it's a balance. I think we had a lot of games where we were fortunate to come in situations where we can get playing time on many younger players, and that's the way they develop. And in this part of the season, we're not subbing them in to be kind, because they starting to grow into the Allsvenskan tempo, and that's kind of the way we're thinking and try to develop young players. But I have to say, it's not me or the staff who's developing players. It must come from their own grit and their own will to do what's necessary to become a better player.
Okay. Do the players have now any additional pressure now as a league leader, or would you say that the last season prepared them mentally for this season?
I think one thing for us that prepared us a lot were the cup final in 2023. It was a lot of media and a lot of pressure. Looking back, I can't say we were prepared to handle that 100%, but we learned a lot from that, and it was, of course, an experience to play the final and have all the media and all eyes on us. And then the last season kind of prepared us as well. We fought for the European places, qualifying places in the end of the season. We didn't really, I think we ended 5 games in a row without a loss, but we have some draws that that meant that we couldn't reach the top three. But I would say it's correct to say that we gained experience from that, and I think both the staff and the guys are very good handling the pressure, because we are very focused on keeping the same structure, keeping the same intensity, not addressing our place in the table or speculating about other results. We are 100% focused on to perform the next game. There's nothing else. We never, as I said, address how many points we have, where we are in the table. It's just full focus to the next game. And I just told the guys before the last game that I haven't really felt that they are feeling pressure, but this isn't pressure. War is pressure. Torture is pressure. Poverty is pressure. This is nothing.
Yeah.
This is football. Have fun.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, but you answered my question, how to respond to challenges like injuries, poor form, and media pressure. But you answered it right now. So this is your third time at the helm of the club.
Yep.
What are some of the key differences in how the club operates now compared to the previous 2 times you were here?
Ooh, that's a very good question, because as you can imagine, as I told you, we're a very, very small club, and I was in the club between 2007. I actually was in the club as a player back in the days, but I didn't get to play any Allsvenskan games. But that's another story. I wasn't good enough. But I came as an assistant manager 2007 and stayed until 2013 as a head coach the last year, and we were we won the Superettan, the second tier, in 2009, and we played in Allsvenskan 2010 to 2014. So, but in that time, we really were a small organization. If you look at a good 4th tier team in Sweden today, they can manage the trainings, the games, the facilities as we did back in the days. Because, to example, almost everyone was semi-professionals. They had jobs besides. Was me working full time. I had an assistant manager working as a football instructor in the local upper secondary high school. We had a goalie trainer who only was attending the trainings 2 times a week. We have a medical who worked as a teacher, and so on. The guys, we were training late afternoons because the guys were working, and we just came to the training and trained and got back home again. And now we really stepped up. And I could also mention that the economy those days weren't good at all. So we have to, in hard times, we have to rely on taking on players on loan, which is not very good for the economy or the long-time plan for the club. So nowadays we're at least a medium Allsvenskan, on a medium Allsvenskan level in organization. We have a staff with 10, where all 10 of them are working full time. All the players are professional. We're meeting in the morning, eating breakfast together, have trainings, do analyzing, scouting of opponents, having lunch together, and the economy is much better thanks to a very structured work over time. We actually they have a survey and looked into the club's economy this year, and we're not by far the richest club, but we have the healthiest economy, and we're the club taking the most points by invested money.
Was then the arrival of Chairman Magnus Emmels crucial in that club transformation?
Yeah, it was crucial. He came 2015 when Mjällby were playing in the third tier. The year after, they were one game from being relegated, and Magnus, who is a friend of mine, took the responsibility as a chairman, and he really structured things up, both everything outside the pitch, especially the economy. So a lot of small steps in the right direction over time. So that structure have put us in the situation we are now, I think.
Did you maybe think already in like his first 2 or 3 years when he was a chairman of the club, were you then maybe already thinking maybe I could come back, I would love to come back to work now under these conditions when he took the realm?
Well, actually not. I was training a competitor in the same division. So we had our battles. I think I was up with them 4 games. I think we won both games on our home ground and lost both games at Strandvallen. But that was a time when I was working as a headmaster, principal on the side of the football. So I was really not aiming for coming back full time. I loved my work. Had no ambition getting back on a higher level.
Now that you mentioned it, in what way has your experience as a school principal helped in leading the team?
I always work with people, and I have always been interesting in leadership. I started my working days as 10 year as an officer in the Swedish army, and that's a lot of leadership and a lot of working and educating people. Then they closed my regiment, and I still worked for 3 years in different places in Sweden. I worked as a teacher in a military school in two years, and after that I started working. Applied for a job as a headmaster at the local upper secondary high school, and got that job, and worked, I think, like almost, it's not 25 years, but almost 25 years as a headmaster, combined it with football. And I think you learn leadership and people skills along the way. So I think I hopefully can benefit from that.
In the coordination in strategic decisions for the club, I assume that one of the key people is also Hans Larsson. He is in some media he's called Mr. Mjällby. He was a player for 14 years. He retired in 1993. Now he's the director of sports for 9 years, I think. If I got the information right, he was also a manager 2 times. How does your work with him look like?
Actually, we know each other from way back because he was a player when I was a player. So, as you say, I think he's got the biggest Mjällby heart there are. So he's really giving it all for Mjällby. He's very emotional, he's very involved, and as I said, we know each other for a long time, so I think we're working great together.
Okay. When you arrived in this third time in 2023, what were the key changes in playing philosophy, tactics, and mentality that you implemented when you arrived?
When I came 2023, I already told the club when they wanted to have me back that I was rusty. As I told you, I've been coaching on lower levels, and I really hadn't gone all in according football. I wasn't up to modern tactics and so on, and that's what I told them. But they kind of said, we don't care because you're winning games. so I got in with a staff with 2 assistant manager, Kristoffer Augustsson, who's still with us, and Stefan Ekstrand, who left before the season 2024, and we were kind of I don't know if this expression flies, but there's
Okay.
there's an expression in Sweden, so building the flight in the air, because we
Okay.
were trying to adapt, changing things. We were a new staff. We haven't worked together, so we took things as they come, trying to improve. And in the end of 2023, we sat down and had a really good analyze about season. Then Mjällby was a team who ended up like 8th, 9th, 10th in the Allsvenskan, and we asked ourselves the question: what could we do to improve this? And what we had a team that were very, very good in defending, especially low. We could counterattack. We were strong on set pieces, and we sat down and tried to pin down what we had to do to improve, especially our build-up and our attacking play. And at the same time, as I said, Stefan Ekstrand were leaving, so we actually could design exactly what kind of a trainer we wanted. And in this case, we wanted a assistant coach with skills in attacking game and a very good eye for analyzing game. And we actually announced it, so we got, I think, 85 attendance for the job. We cooked it down to, I think, 5, had interviews, and cooked it down to 3. And we choose a pretty unexperienced guy called Marius Axon, who came from Odd under 19 team, but we were pretty sure that he was the one fitting our profile the best, and we had a plan, and he was one of the tools to execute that plan. So he has really done that, and I think in many interviews the spotlight is on him, very rightfully. But I will also like to mention that Kristoffer My second assistant manager is amazing as well, and the rest of the staff as well. So I think he brought a lot of very good things to the club, especially in the attacking game, and you can see that in our development. But it's a great teamwork from all the members in the staff and all the players.
Then do you use in your coaching team, is there an emphasis on modern analytics, on modern technology in training and preparation? I mean, we can even see now in media, football journalists are more and more implementing some stats that were unheard of 10 or 15 years ago, like expected goals, expected threat, and so on and so on. Is it possible to lead a football club without being, like one step in this modern time, to use all those modern analytics and technology in training?
No, I don't
Okay.
think so. No, you can't do that today. But I think you have to have both. You have to look at the numbers, and you have to look at the game with the experience. So we use a lot of statistics. We're breaking down the statistics every game. We put it together every month and compare it to where we want to be. We have maybe up to 10 key performance indicators that we look at, and we put it together every month and see where we are, and it's like you mentioned, for example, XG, XT, XG against us, and 6 or 7 more. And if we're not where we want to be, we have to analyze, break it down, and get things into training to improve that. So we use a lot of statistics and a lot of video tools.
Okay. I tried to watch some games, how much I could manage in Croatian, how much time they are even on TV, if we can catch them. You will correct me, of course, if I'm wrong, but it seems to me that you're not an idealist. You seem quite adaptable. The club changes the structure often during the match, your base formations, you switch the focus from one wing to another. You are good at set pieces on both ends. It seems to me like you're really emphasizing the process, the adaptation, not being rigid, and above all, maybe mental preparation.
Yeah, 100%. I agree, and of course that's we already spoke about our change in our style of playing, and Magnus Emius, who brought the structure to the club. But there's I think 20 more things to address in this development, and one thing we worked a lot with is the tactical flexibility. We can play in a lot of ways in different phases. We train a lot on different structures in training, which means that the team has become very more tactical flexible, so we can change things during a game and the players catch up immediately. So we can change the structure in the midfield. We can work with high wing backs, the low wing backs. We can play with the one defensive midfielder. We can play with two. We can force by letting our outer central defenders free and participating in attacking and so on. And we train a lot on that, and the players are comfortable with that type of changes.
Okay, one thing that I also try to analyze some of the stats, and I saw interestingly none of your players scored double-digit goals in the league. When you visit some various websites, analytic sites that have like player ratings, there you can't find a player from your club that's like maybe in a top five. Does that just show the strength of the collective more than the emphasis on the individual? I don't think. Do you think that you have like certain star players, or is it just a star team?
No, we don't have star players. We don't have any players that see themselves as a star, and that's another thing explaining our success, I think, because we have the in 2023 we after 2023 we also sat down with the players and created our core values. How should a Mjällby player act on the pitch and off the pitch? And I think they I know they want to be humble. No one is bigger than the team, and so on. And we have to continue with that. So it's a very humble bunch of guys, and we don't have a star, but we have many key players, and every player is bringing the work to every game, and that's more important than having a star scoring 15 goals, I think.
Okay. What are plans for the future? What are the club's ambitions over the next 2 to 4 years?
We're still trying to develop as a club. It's no huge ambitions. We're taking step by step, and we'll continue doing that. It's not about recruiting stars and players for like 2, 3, 4 millions euros. It's about keeping the structure, building the same way, step by step, small steps in the right direction. And I think that's a huge key to keep going. We have to look who we are. We may win the league. We know we're gonna qualify for Europe, but we're still a very small and humble club that has to find our own way to success.
Okay. Um, I read the article in the Sweden Herald. Maybe some viewers don't know you were diagnosed with chronic lymphatic leukemia. Uh, I read in that interview you said you have come to terms with the diagnosis. How does it affect your coaching work and specifically the mental approach?
Not at all. I not my coaching work. It's a tough decision to take in, and you before you get that kind of diagnose or message, or it's hard to imagine how you take it. It was very tough, and as I have said in a lot of interviews, the worst thing was to address it to my family members. But it was a very sad day. But I felt even late in the same day, it's no use feeling sorry for myself. So I really started to come back already the next day. I got it on a Friday. Spent Saturday with my family. It was a game on Sunday, which I watched on TV, and I was back on the arena Monday. So it doesn't affect my coaching at all. Maybe I've been kind of stronger as a person, and maybe even more relaxed about football, because realizing that there's more important things in life, and please get me right, I'm going all in. I work a lot of hard work. I'm going all in for Mjällby IF, but I don't want to be remembered and have it on my gravestone. He was a good coach. That's higher values in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I strongly agree with you, and I sincerely wish you the best of health for the
Yeah,
future.
thank you very much. Thank you.
Two more questions before we end. What is it like in your in your city, in the town? Are the fans, maybe, what is the atmosphere like when it's like such a small community? Are the fans in constant contact with you,
Yeah.
on the streets and so on? How does it look like?
As I told you, it's a very small community, so everyone is pretty much knowing
Everything, yeah.
everyone. So I always try to be myself. I think I'm maybe the only coach in Allsvenskan that still has open social media, Instagram and Facebook. I still can live my life as normal. I can play golf. I can go to the grocery store, and they're very respectful, both in when we lose or when we win. So it's a proud but very calm environment to work in, and we are a club. We have open trainings. Anyone can come, except for the trainings, just the tactical trainings just before a game. But anyone can come and watch us and get autographs and speak with us. And we're trying to be very transparent with everything. So it's as I told you, it's a very calm and nice environment to work in and for the players to develop in.
So it's not like, for example, in Croatia, we have a saying, since there's 4 million people in Croatia, we have a saying, it's a country of 4 million football managers, because everyone has an opinion. Everyone thinks they know better than the current national team manager, than the current club coach. Is it like that in Sweden?
No, not as it is in Croatia. I can tell you that. Of course, everyone is speculating, but I actually think I've learned to just let that fly by, because our job is to create a game plan and the tactics before the game, and everyone is creating that after the game, and that's easy. So let them do it. That's their right to speculate and have opinions, but I think it's much calmer in Sweden. Maybe the bigger clubs have a more tension in the fan culture, but we definitely don't have that.
Okay. Mr. Torstensson, my last question, is there any personal lesson? Is there any situation, besides, of course, the health issue, that maybe changed you as a person, as a coach, that you would maybe like to share with our viewers?
Yeah, I just told you one. That's maybe the first one. Football isn't everything. I know a lot of people are living and dying for football, but there are higher values in life. And I think my other lesson to other coaches is I'm very satisfied that I have a pretty laid back leadership. I let my staff really take part in everything, and I think that really creates a team. And I also have I can't find the English word, but let me rephrase it.
Okay.
I also are very humble to continue learning. You're never 100% there, so be humble to continue learning, to continue developing, learn from the games, learn from the mistakes, and learn from what you're doing good as well.
Okay, Mr. Torstensson, thank you for your time. It was a privilege talking with you. For me, you have a fantastic way of thinking of life values, and sincerely, our whole team wishes you all the luck in the last games of the season.
Thank you very much once again. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Ekipa, to bi bilo to od ovog podcasta. Nadam se da ste uživali kao i ja. Do neke idućeg puta. Lijep pozdrav.